Hey, everyone, this is Dr. Kennard. I'm just gonna go with my nom de guerre, my pseudonym now. I'm nothing but Kennard. I hope you're doing well. This is the Disappointed Cat Morning Show. What are we doing today? The death of religion in Ireland, Calais, Biden telling nursing home staff to get your shit together. Twitter coming out with a new button, a misinformation button to identify tweets that are basically spreading misinformation. And COVID. 1,000 cases a day in the US. This is the Disappointed Cat Morning Show. I probably already said that. Let's do something funny, everyone.
When you find a floof sleeping in its natural habitat, do these two things. Number 1, move to the floof. Number 2, boop the floof.
Hey, so go ahead and check out the chat. If this is the first time you're here, I like to interact with the chat in between news stories, sometimes during news stories. It's that interactivity stuff. Hey, Lee Spanner, how you doing? Blazing. And Tobin Templeman, glad to see you're here. Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go. Is that a Ramon song? That has to be a Ramon song. John Hudson. And Eden's Aquaponics, Dee Parks, good morning, Scott Duke. Derek Cruz, Tesla Ranger, and Jess M, boop the floof, indeed. All right. So what do I have for announcements? Once again, we're doing this show up until 9:25. We usually do the show for an hour, but because I'm on vacation here in Vermont, we're doing a 25-minute show. And then the after party after show, which is an open room for humanists, progressives, atheists, that starts at 9:30 and goes until 10. That's today. And tomorrow, no show tomorrow. I'm going to be on the road. And Reverend Brother, holy crap, it's Jimmy Lou. What are you doing here, Jimmy? You're doing a show tonight, right? You're doing a show. I just saw, actually. I know that you're doing a show tonight, Jimmy, on the Tang Network, along with Skids the Clown, 9 p.m. Hilarious stuff, everyone. Hilarious stuff. You should check it out. Jimmy, that is Jimmy. That's right. Or at least I think it is Jimmy. I don't know. So, no show tomorrow because I'm going to be on the road. I don't know what my schedule is going to be like next week. I might have a job. I might not. A little bit about me. This is the point of the comedy show where the comedian goes, a little bit about me. I got screwed by my job I don't even have yet. How could you get screwed by a job you don't even have yet? I'm glad you asked. So I got a phone call from the job I don't even have yet. I'm supposed to be doing onboarding next week. And they said, you know what? We made a mistake with your schedule. And I said, what do you mean you made a mistake with my schedule? Well, they said, well, all those hours we said we could give you, they're not available. We gave it to somebody else before you interviewed. I said, what does that mean? They said, we don't know. You don't know? We're not really sure what hours are open. Thanks a lot. Thanks. So yeah, I might be doing a show normal time next week. I may not. Once again, you can catch me on any social media platform, on Twitter, on Instagram. I'll leave notes down here in like the notes section of my YouTube channel. And, I'm on Facebook. People know where to find me on Facebook. No hours equals no job. That's how I don't even know. I do not even know at this point right now. So I'm hopefully going to find out today about the job situation. If not, then hopefully tomorrow. But we'll find out, everyone. I'll find out. And once I find out, I'm going to let you know about everything. So maybe show next week. I am going to be running some kind of programming on this channel, even if I have to do my 9-to-5 trainings. So there'll be something going on here on this channel. Everyone, you want to do memes? Let's do memes. No one wants to hear about my work life. I don't want to talk about my work life, to tell you the truth. It's here. First meme. Moses lost in the desert, year 40. Recalculating. That is pretty funny, isn't it, girlfriend? We've been up here traveling through Vermont, and it seems to be that sometimes there's not a lot of connectivity, that our GPSs they just don't work. And so we just have to drive around hoping for a connection so that we actually got a paper map. We haven't had to open it yet, but we have it for backup just in case we get into an area that we really need a paper map. All right. Next meme. I'm going to do another meme, to tell you the truth. This is a play on words. That is Chuck Norris, the face of Chuck Norris. And those are nuns. And that would make them a pair of nunchucks. It's a fine line between funny and stupid, everyone. And sometimes that line gets crossed. A lot of times. Here, at least. Oh, John Hudson. Let's see. It's a 0-hour contract. What's up, Paul Camish? I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know if, the girlfriend seems to be positive to thinking that I still have a job.
That was before you explained the whole situation.
Oh, I explained the whole situation to her. Now she doesn't think I have a job. Excellent. Well, Dee Parks, you are correct. Less time on real job means more time for all of us. That's right. All right. You're not on Facebook, Dr. Mordecai, huh? Brother Heathen. Always good. Hey, Sammy Jenkins. Hope you're doing well. Sammy Jenkins said, Andy Hall, when the company calls you like 2 days before you're supposed to start with those kind of phone calls, with saying that they need to talk to you, that means they completely fucked over your hours. Yes, Sammy, that's what happened. That's exactly what happened, sir. Wow, why do I feel like I keep bringing it back to me? Let's do some news, everyone. This is going to make you feel better about the death of the Catholic Church in the Republic of Ireland. Archbishop of Dublin. Evidence of Christian belief in Ireland has vanished. Wah, wah. Sucks to be them. The church in Ireland is this is from Hemant Metzer, of course. The Friendly Atheist. Links in the description. The church in Ireland is rapidly disappearing. The number of people who practice Catholicism is in decline. Those are the words of the Archbishop of Dublin, Dermot Farrell. Yeah, there's a picture of him. I didn't include it. In an interview with Ciolta, I mispronounced that. Notice how I just ran through that word without even trying to pronounce it properly. A journal published by the Seminary of St. Patrick's College, Maynooth. This is a quote from the Archbishop. The challenges facing me are pretty clear. We have an aging clergy and very few vocations to the diocesan. I mispronounced that, but I'm just rolling, everyone. Priesthood or religious life. There is a major decline in the number of people who actively practice and live their faith. The current model of the church is unsustainable. I'm going to repeat that for everyone in the cheap seats in the back, or if you just want some more Schadenfreude this morning. The current model of the church is unsustainable, he said. In Dublin, there was need for an effective program of catechists throughout the diocese to add and eventually replace the current teaching of faith to the young. With the gradual decline of the family socialization, i.e. brainwashing everyone in religion, the role of the qualified catechist will be essential. In my opinion, the handing on of the faith to the young is one of the most serious challenges facing our church today. So what's the Archbishop of Dublin saying? It's the fact that parents are not indoctrinating, brainwashing their kids in a pedophilic? I'm going to go with pedophilic. I'm saying all kinds of words this morning. Pedophilic faith known as the Catholic Church, and that's why the church is dying. Shame, single tear. Lie, there was no single tear, everyone. I'm celebrating I mean, we should all celebrate. Maybe there should be a special atheist celebration of the death of the Catholic faith in Ireland. I think that would be a worthy holiday. Over the weekend, raise up a pint, a wine glass, a cup of coffee, I don't know, maybe a Snickers bar, and celebrate the death of the Catholic Church in Ireland, or the decline of the Catholic Church and hopeful death of the Catholic Church in Ireland. I have arriveth. You have, Blazing Wizard Pope. Let's see. Tesla Ranger. Yeah, well, maybe Tesla Ranger. I don't know. Let's see. Do Christians think that the friendly atheist guy is really friendly? That's a good question. I would say no. Though in all of his appearances, Hemet is always smiling and happy and thoughtful. But I'm sure that there's a fair amount of evangelicals who think he's a tool of the devil. Snickers here. Okay, raise a Snickers bar over the weekend over the death of the Catholic Church in Ireland. That's fine. Well, Scott, dude, maybe they will replace faith with the love of science, art, and humanity. And that's the thing, isn't it, right? There's always this question, this concern that what if people lose their faith? What's going to happen? What's going to replace it? Will Satan replace it? Well, maybe if they're lucky, it will be the Satanic Temple. But probably when people lose their faith, they just be happy and do activities that they want to do on a Sunday morning. Maybe they won't spend time giving money to an evil institution. Maybe they'll just live happy and productive lives. Maybe faith is not really important. Maybe kids just get conned into it at an early age. What's up, KCA, Randy? Logic will replace it. Well, hopefully it will. Hopefully it would. All right. Oh, I'm already like at 12 minutes, everyone. I got a lot of news to cover today. It's been a busy news day. Biden announces vaccine mandate for nursing home staff. Oh, you would think that everyone who works in a nursing home would have the wherewithal to be vaccinated, but we know we don't live in that kind of world. President Biden announced Wednesday that staff members at nursing homes would now be required to get fully vaccinated against COVID-19, or those facilities would risk losing their Medicare and Medicaid funding. I'm using the power of the federal government as a payer of healthcare costs to ensure we reduce those risks to our most vulnerable seniors, Biden said in a speech delivered at the White House. The president has directed the Department of Health and Human Services to finalize guidelines that would make federal Medicare and Medicaid payments contingent on the COVID-19 vaccination status of employees at nursing homes, which serve one of the most vulnerable populations. You know, I hope a lot of people get fired. I do. If you're that selfish or if you're that crazy not to get vaccinated and you're working with a medically sensitive, a weak population, physically weak population, then you shouldn't have that job. According to early August data from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, only 60% of staff members at long-term care facilities have received the full course of the coronavirus vaccine. A little over 82% of residents, meanwhile, are fully vaccinated. Approximately 664,000 nursing home residents have been infected. That's a high number. Since the start of the pandemic, and nearly as many staffers tested positive. If you visit, live, or work in a nursing home, you should not be at a high risk for contracting COVID from unvaccinated employees, Biden said. And you know, there are going to be people there who are going to fight for their right to infect the elderly and the disabled. And they are crazy people, evil.
I think that's the Beastie Boys song, right?
What is the Beastie Boys song?
Fight for the right to infect the...
Fight for the right to infect the elderly and the and people with disabilities. I think that's right, girlfriend. I think that's right. I'm going to miss, actually, our little co-joined room interaction when everything gets back to normal again. I'm going to miss that. Oh, the like button. I haven't even talked about the like button, but this is going to be the halftime tummy rub show. Halftime tummy rub show is when we laugh, we chuckle, we hilarity, if that's a verb. We do funny things. And I ask you, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. If you get value from the show, if you get value from our interactions here. And of course, there are no ads. No ads? No ads. Because I hate effing ads. I hate effing ads. I hate watching shows with ads. I'll still watch your show, mind you, but I just hate them. So the show is supported by YouTube members and patrons, of course. All right, let's do something funny. Halftime tummy rub show. Halftime tummy.
You don't tell me how to drive. I'm the driver. No, I'm driving. You sit down. I'm driving. You don't tell me. I know where I'm going. I know how to get there. Leave me alone. No, don't say another word.
I might trust the dog more than the driver, to tell you the truth. The dog seems to know what's going on. Seems to be highly skeptical of the driver. John Hudson says, I saw an EMT on TV say she doesn't need a vaccination shot because she is religious and prays a lot. Was that in Texas, John Hudson? I'm just curious. My girlfriend is... the thing is about my girlfriend is that she doesn't really... Up until she knew me, and up until we met, she didn't really understand how crazy people are in a real kind of concrete way, or how idiotic many of our co-monkeys, our co-primates are. And if nothing else, our relationship, open door to the idiocy of the species. You licked the button before the show started. Well, I appreciate your dedication. Wow. All right. We should go to the next story, right? We should do the next story. I got like 8 minutes left. How many more stories do I have left? Quite a few, actually. Twitter tests misleading post report button for the first time. Many of the large social media networks have been accused of not doing enough to fight the spread of disinformation during the COVID pandemic and U.S. election campaigns. Twitter's reporting function has never offered a clear option for such posts. Twitter said the new feature was only a test and will only be available in a few countries to begin with. Some people in Australia, South Korea, and the U.S. will now see an option for "it's misleading" when trying to report a tweet, the tech giant said. It also warned users that the system may not have significant effect. So they gotta give it a shot, but don't get your hopes up. It might not do anything. At least they're honest. Twitter plans to eventually launch the feature in other countries around the world. Curiously, someone reporting misinformation must choose from options such as "it's suspicious" or "spam," or "it's abusive" or "harmful," and then narrow that down to a more specific subcategories to make a report. So I imagine the button will just be easier to use. They're testing it out, but once again, hey, it may not do anything to help prevent the spread of disinformation. You build a better idiot trap and they make better idiots, everyone. That's what happens.
Your stories will get that misinformation button.
Well, when I'm on Twitter, Amy, I'm glad you asked this, is that I always, whenever I do satire, I always say your morning humor or your afternoon humor. So it is labeled, but when other people retweet without that, then yes, that'll probably happen. All right. Hey, Robert X. Thank you, Robert X, for the support. I do appreciate it. All right. Tesla Ranger says there are a lot of false copyright takedowns. I'm guessing this new button will have a similar result. Probably. All right. Are we going to do the last story? And I'm crushing this timeline, everyone. I'm so happy. Oh, this is not a feel-good story. The death of religion in Ireland, that was a pretty good story. Biden telling nursing home staff that they need to be vaccinated or they're going to lose funding. That was a good story. Even the Twitter this, button that may not do any good, that was kind of a positive story. This, however, this is not a positive story. The U.S. reports more than 1,000 COVID deaths in a single day. Reuters, the U.S. reported more than 1,000 COVID-19 deaths on Tuesday, equating to about 42 fatalities an hour, according to a Reuters tally, as the Delta variant continues to ravage parts of the country with low vaccination rates. Coronavirus-related deaths have spiked in the U.S. over the past month and are averaging 769 per day, the highest since mid-April, according to the Reuters tally. That is insane. That is an insane amount, since most of those are preventable if you just get what? The vaccine. That's right. Most of those deaths are preventable if you just got vaccinated. President Joe Biden's administration confirmed on Tuesday evening a plan to extend requirements for travelers to wear masks on planes, trains, and buses, and at airports and trains until mid-January. Like many other countries, the Delta variant has presented a major challenge. The Reuters tally from state data on Tuesday showed 1,017 deaths, taking the death toll from the pandemic to just under 623 people, the highest number of deaths officially reported by any country in the world. The last time the U.S. recorded more than 1,000 deaths on a daily basis was in March. U.S. officials have started to accelerate vaccinations in the face of the renewed threat, with a 7-day average of doses given increasing by 14% in the past 2 weeks. See, now that's positive, right? In the midst of all the badness, because accelerating vaccination rates is positive in the face of so many deaths. While governments and businesses initially offered incentives such as cash and prizes for getting vaccinated, the surge in cases has caused some companies and states to mandate vaccines if workers want to keep their jobs and not face routine testing. However, U.S. hospitals continue to flood with new patients as COVID-related hospitalizations have increased about 70% in the last 2 weeks. I don't know if anyone else saw this. I'm just going to throw this in, is that there was a doctor, I believe in Alabama, who is telling their patients that if you're not vaccinated, the doctor will not keep them as patients. So the doctors basically said, I do not want to deal with watching you die. And so from COVID, which is a horrible way to go. And so the doctor is sending out letters to their patients and saying, if you're not vaccinated, if you don't send me proof of vaccination by, I think it's like September, October, I think it's October, then you're officially kicked off the list. No longer willing to see you. And it's tough, but I think reasonable. Gonna check out the chat before closing up the show, because once again, this show goes to 9:25, and then we do the after party after show at 9:30. The link is in the description if you want to be on the panel. Yes, the Bible Belt is getting a beating in terms of COVID-19. There's no doubt about it. Cryptameria says Baton Rouge is in bad trouble, and many of the ICU beds have kids in them. Yep. Well, if you didn't, pro-life, it's, I cannot even, imaginary God, take me out of here. Sure, leave just when I got here. I'm sorry, imaginary God. Okay, everyone, I'm going to show you the funny video, and then I'm going to do the new thank you video for the new patrons. Well, I'm going to do patron, Jeffrey Schwartz. Thank you very much for your support, and new YouTube members. But I'm going to do something funny first, everyone. Let's do something.
I am convinced that there are only 3 types of pet. Might be on drugs, no thoughts, just vibes, old god trapped in a mortal body.
All right, thanks everyone for showing up. 9:30, after party, after show. Hope you're there. Link is in the description if you want to be on the panel. And here is the thank you video. Oh, wow. Hey, I'm still here. Thanks. I'll see you in a few minutes.